Welcome to Building the Future of Health. My name is Bill Pfau, founder of Resonance Agency and creator of Frequency OS. This podcast features conversations with founders, innovators, and practitioners who are developing new models of care outside the traditional healthcare system. Together we explore the ideas, systems, and strategies shaping the next generation of health practices. The current system isn't working as well as it could, and the future of health is being built by courageous people who are brave enough to build something a little different in a system that doesn't always favor them or allow them the visibility that they deserve. So I have with me Stephanie Tornatore, founder of the Frequency Solution, and today we're going to talk about the marketing challenges that she faced, a little bit of how we met, and what we put together for her practice. And the whole goal of this podcast is to give you an idea of how different independent integrative health practices are shaping their business plans, either outside their traditional insurance-dependent system or through, memberships and different personalized methods of care, and showing what works, what doesn't. And if you're a practitioner and you're looking to start your own practice and make the leap, my goal is to provide a foundation and a place for you to get the resources so you can feel confident and comfortable launching your company and understand how your revenue model is going to work. And through that, we're going to be interviewing a whole different variety of practitioners, learning from their mistakes and also what's been working for them. Okay, so Stephanie Tornatore, do you want to tell us a little bit about your company?
Sure. I have a company called the Frequency Solution, and I help people release their emotional blocks that are causing them issues in their lives. And most of the time it stems from early childhood. I do this through using frequency devices and doing a lot of energy work, Reiki practice, meditation, yoga, all the different types of energy healing modalities and things like sound healing. And so when I started my practice probably 6 years ago, I didn't really know what I was doing running, a company like this, like I envisioned. I was just accepting payments through Venmo and PayPal, and I didn't really have any system in place at all. I was heavily relying on finding clients through Facebook, just my friends, and I did run a fairly successful business just doing it off the cuff. So now that Bill has installed all of these systems for me and helped me build out client portals and all the memberships and all these kinds of things, one, I'm able to help more clients. They're getting more consistent help from me. And also I've now doubled my revenue this year, which I just figured out from doing my taxes. Yay!
Nice.
So it's really exciting. And we were talking about wow, I should be your first guest because this was an awesome to be able to see that and go, wow, because I definitely, struggled in the beginning with switching over to a new system. And I was kind of, I think a lot of people are kind of, oh, that feels too hard to do. I'll just keep doing it my own way. And I was definitely, headbutting with Bill in the beginning. And he was like, I really think this is going to help you. And I was like, all right, fine. So then I did. And I'm very happy I did.
Yeah. So Stephanie has a goal of helping people through her modalities. She's able to get to the root of what's holding people back emotionally, adults and kids. So she does a lot of work with emotions, self-healing,
self-awareness,
deprogramming, limiting beliefs. I was a client. That's how I actually met her. And a little background on me. When I was 27, I started the program of Alcoholics Anonymous. And I found a lot of benefits in the 12-step program framework that were able to just completely help me shift my way of thinking. And part of the later steps is running a continual inventory on yourself and praying and meditating, which brought me to the Holistic Center that Stephanie was at in Monroe. They were doing an open house. So I came in and they placed me randomly with a practitioner. I had no idea what frequency was. I just knew that there was a level of therapy or something like it, and I was ready to really get to a deeper root of what was holding me back. I was running a successful marketing agency at the time. It was a generalist agency, so we were helping clients across all different industries, and I got very into health and longevity. My grandfather died of lung cancer when I was 11, and that was something that just never left. There was a gap in him between him finding out and getting diagnosed and the painful death he experienced, which was all centered around not catching it early enough. And ever since then, that always kind of bothered me. But now with new advancements in health and kind of where the field is going, we're seeing a lot of new innovative modalities come out, and a lot of them get stigmatized and don't have the recognition or accessibility that I wish more people had access to. Mm-hmm. So when I met Stephanie, we did a session, and I was surprised at how we were able to get very quickly into the root of some things that I really hadn't looked at, that hadn't come up on my fourth step, things I wasn't working in my AA program.
Things you hadn't even uncovered in therapy.
Yeah, but it was more just Stephanie's empathy and the way she was able to connect with me. One thing that I mentioned early on to her was that I wish I had more access to conversations with her. I had become kind of the annoying client. And she'll
Yes.
admit it.
Yes.
But when you're doing that kind of work, if there's not a structure around how much time you have access to the practitioner, it gets kind of confusing. Like, I wasn't getting as much help as I felt she could have provided, and I could tell that her systems were kind of holding her back. So one of the first brainstorms we had together was actually at my old agency office, and we were doing a whiteboard session. We filmed a video about the 4 colors on the human color chart to help you understand yourself and those around you. And one of the first things we talked about was the need for recurring revenue and memberships. It was an overwhelming topic at the time because she had a Wix website, Google Workspace. You were using like a combination of Venmo and PayPal, mm-hmm. I believe. And I knew you wanted to grow, and you had no way of collecting recurring revenue at the time. Mm-hmm. So we worked on her strategy. Also, kind of a challenge was when you talk about resonance or frequency or vibration and how that factors into basically therapy work. It's very new to a lot of people. Do you want to maybe bring us through what your goal is with your company, who you help, and then we can talk about how you implemented this new system and how your company operates now, but also the better results that your clients are seeing from you?
Like you were just saying about how you wanted to have more access to my help and talking to me. So that was actually one of the problems with my clients, was that, yes, I would do one-off sessions with people a lot of the time, and the healings were always so powerful that they would have their one healing and then they would go away, and then I wouldn't see them again because it was like they got what they needed and they left, and then they would come back, many months later. It was either that, or I had people like you who were like, you just kind of like dove into this world head first of expanding your view of like, oh my gosh, wow, I have all these things that I have to work on now. And then it would be like, well, maybe one-off sessions was maybe too much money for some people, or they were like, well, I can't afford to have, multiple sessions a month. Or I would have people who they would want to have more time with me, but they would have one session with me and then they would dive into like an abundance reset, which we can talk about in a second. And the thing with the abundance resets was I was only doing them like once every 3 months. And every time I would redo them, I would have to find all the clients again. And it was always this, I never knew how much money I was going to make from an abundance reset, So there was all these different little issues where it was usually like people wanted more of me. I couldn't necessarily always provide it. I'm also, full-time mom to a 7-year-old. And so there was like all these little issues. And for you, when you were like taking all of my classes because you wanted to learn more. And that's like what happens to a lot of people, is that they like want to dive into the healing world. And after one session with me, their eyes go like this and they're like, wait a minute, I have all these things that I want to learn. And so for some people, they can't necessarily afford to do all of that. So that's when we were talking about like, well, maybe we can make memberships or something that is more affordable for people. And, like Bill said to me too, if you do anything that's less than $150 a month, I would pay that for a membership. And I was like, okay, but like, what do I do? and I was like, well, $150 a month. I mean, like my sessions alone with people were, I don't remember what I was charging at the time. It might've been $150. So I was thinking like, well, I don't want to have a session with someone and then they're getting all this other stuff for free technically. Right. So there was like a lot of conversations back and forth about that. And I had to get out of my own way a lot too. And, Bill would always tell me that happily, be like, okay, no, this is going to be better for you. Please trust me, and I did end up trusting Bill, obviously. And here we are with doubling my revenue this year. So it was definitely a good move to have have someone else look at your business and say like, hey, here's all the ways that we can make this better, not only for you, not only for your income, but for your clients too. And now I have clients that are getting access to me, where I don't feel like too much of me is being asked of. It's just like there's boundaries set. They know what they're getting. It's a monthly revenue that I know that I'm getting. And so it all worked out for everyone, actually.
Yeah. Before we dive into what we specifically did and like how you're getting that recurring revenue and what systems we set up, I think it's important to note that you weren't afraid of marketing. In fact, Stephanie built a YouTube channel called Fit Couple Cooks that reached over 500,000 subscribers. And I mean, how many millions of views did you have? You were flown out to the Tabasco headquarters.
We ended up writing 2 books with DK Publishing that sold over 100,000 copies. It was all about healthy meal prep. And then we got brand deals with big companies like Tabasco and NutriBullet and Sir Kensington's, and I don't even remember now. It was so long ago. But we were flown out to Louisiana, and we got a full experience at the Tabasco family farm. Like, it was wild. We went on a national book tour. So yeah, marketing is not something that I was new to. My marketing was kind of working at a base level, but it wasn't like in this field getting me to an income that I feel good at, right? Or that I knew that I needed.
Right.
So
yeah, so I think that's a common problem. Social media marketing doesn't always translate into revenue or leads, especially predictably. So using systems like Frequency OS, we're able to add things like automated first comment after the post, automated DMs back, just kind of help you centralize your leads. But I always thought it was interesting that we'd sit down, we'd have great ideas for content we wanted to film, and we'd have story after story, but somehow it wasn't translating back into a system that we could use. And you said something that I found interesting, like when we finally finished your website, you felt like you didn't deserve the quality of the website that you had made despite having all the success in the past, which I think is really important because I find that all the time. Like, if you're an independent practitioner, if you're like a founder-led practice and you are just dying to get your message out but not sure how, do I start a podcast, do I make a webinar, do I make selfie reels while talking? If you're not confident in the systems that back that up, it tends to be a non-starter for a lot of people. So now I'd say you're finally in that groove where you're making content, you know exactly what level of impact that you'd like to make and how you can make that impact. And we're taking these clips to help educate people. And now you say that you are no longer struggling with not feeling deserving of a website. But when I first showed you the website, how did you feel like when you first saw it? I know you said it was amazing, but
yeah, I was blown away by what it looked like, but then it was also, I had to struggle with this, like, wow, a lot of people struggle with self-worth. This is what I work with people on. And, that was an instant like, oh, wow, I have to work on this within myself right now, because it was just such a massive upgrade from the little Wix website that I had made. And so it took some of my own self-work to help me feel deserving of having such a big, beautiful website with all of these different, the free resources and the this and the that, and there's just so many things on it. And so it took me a little while to do that. And that's actually funny because that's what Bill and I were talking about back in the earlier days of, wow, we need to work together, because you can't grow your business past what you believe in yourself, your own self-worth. What's the quote? Can't grow.
Your business growth can't outpace your personal growth.
So like that was an exact example of like, wow, like the website was farther than what I felt about myself. So I had to work on that. So we were always talking about like, wow, we should work together because he has his clients and then I can help them feel worthy of having such a big, beautiful website. So,
and that was my problem as well, to get the confidence to really step out, go out on my own and make the impact that I wanted to make in the field that I wanted to work in. I had a lot of self-worth issues to work with too. So my goal was to just surround myself and just immerse myself into this world. And through your help what is it? There's a saying about like the shoemaker never has any shoes. My business growth couldn't outpace my personal growth. So I wanted to dive head in with what Stephanie was doing. And then now we've helped each other and we're helping other people, and it feels very good. So I'll pull up your website and we can go through a little bit of what we made. So Stephanie's website is thefrequencysolution.com. So if you know that old Tesla quote, if you want to know the secrets to the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. That's one way to start understanding how we kind of think about therapy work in the context of Stephanie's company. Here we are on the homepage. Like I said, Stephanie has a bunch of different offerings, just like with a marketing agency, or in my case, a marketing practice. You know, we help you with your websites, SEO, paid ads, funnels. All this stuff works together as a system, and it's just like Stephanie's programs. It's not just showing up to therapy once or twice a month. There's a lot of work that goes behind that. So clients needed access to resources. Stephanie puts out programs and videos. They all kind of needed a place to live. So on Stephanie's website, if you click over to explore offerings, this is the front end of her website. It's powered by a back end that allows for clients to fill out their intake forms with e-signatures, collect the information that Stephanie needs up front to actually do their scans and get the first appointment booked.
Documents and waivers. Because I used to tell people that they needed to sign things, but then they wouldn't, or I would forget, or, you know, whatever. So for people that are doing this type of work that need to have documents and waivers signed, it's really good to be able to have this so that you don't have to think about it.
Right. The scheduling as well is handled through Frequency OS. Certain programs have up to 4 sessions included. So Stephanie's backend allows the clients to create an account, log in, and book the 4 sessions that are included with her service, with reminder emails, companion resources as well. You can just book a one-on-one session. And then I wanted to talk a lot about the recurring programs, because if you're going to grow a business and make the kind of impact that you're looking to make, it's nice to have that stability. And I think that stability is part of what the initial struggle of smaller practices is, getting some kind of recurring revenue in. There's so much value that you have to offer, and you have so much knowledge. You spent years, right, researching all this, and you repeat a lot of the same stuff to clients. So while it's good to have that in person, recurring programs that utilize like courses, community features, webinars, giving them access to more, is a way that you can grow predictable revenue without burning out. And one innovative offer that she's come up with here is called the Abundance Reset. And I'm excited about that. I want to dive into that a little more. So Abundance Reset, can you tell us about what it is, how that came to be your first kind of stabilizing recurring revenue source?
Okay, so back like maybe 4 years ago, I started to do group frequency work when I realized that, you know, people like groups. They like things that are hands off. You know, everyone's always so busy. And so some people weren't wanting to commit to having like one-on-one sessions with me. So I thought, you know what, maybe I should do it remotely, where I could send or broadcast frequencies to people of an entire group for something specific. So it started off as a reset for, I think maybe stress was the first one, but I had done so many different types of resets, and they would always be 21 days, and it was like a set of frequencies. So let's say like it was a nervous system reset. There would be each night I would send everybody in the group a little paragraph about, hey, here's what we're doing tonight. The frequency is for relax. And then it would give you a whole paragraph about what is included in that frequency program. You don't have to listen to anything. It's just being broadcast to you through the energy field. So I would have tremendous success. I mean, I had 18 people in the first one, and I'm not remembering right now what the first one was. It was something like stress. And it was 18 people, and 18 out of 18 people experienced something, whether it was like a detox reaction, or they felt better, or I have so many testimonials, guys. It's just wild how people feel so much better during a reset. And so I was like, wow, I think I'm onto something here. And so, like I said before, it was like every 3 months I would throw together another reset, and I would decide like, okay, now I'm going to do a reset for detox, or New Year's detox, or, you know, self-love for February, or gut healing, or hormone balancing. And so it was just always something new and different. And then I started doing the abundance reset, and all of a sudden everyone dove in. They were like, wow, this is amazing. And I got way more people than I usually do. And then people were having crazy testimonials. The things that were happening to people, I was like, okay, now I'm definitely onto something. Even you, like you had sent me a picture. I don't know if you remember this. You sent me a screenshot of a check that had just come to you, and it was like $4,000. And you were like, I don't even know where this money just came from, but thank you. And you said, like, you're one of the testimonials on here because you said something like, you know, if this keeps working out, I'll give you half my share. And I was like, woo. Not that I would do that, but it was just funny. So the things that I saw happening for people, I was like, okay, this needs to be more consistent. And so that was when I decided, okay, this is going to be the membership. It's going to be a monthly thing. It's not going to be every 3 months. It's 21 days, but we start every first of the month. And so I decided to build out this membership program, and Bill helped me a lot. And we did like one every single day has a video. You get a video that you can watch that's like 5 to 10 minutes long of me explaining whatever's happening in that day, which no one had ever had before because I would just send them a paragraph on Facebook Messenger. I would put everybody into one big group on Facebook Messenger. So this is now like, it doesn't have to be on Facebook Messenger. They have their own portal, their own community page. They can go in there and watch videos. I uploaded resources and documents and tons of things that I didn't have before. So it really amplified their experience. And I have people who say that they love watching the videos, even if they've seen them before, you know, because they're in it every month. Some people say like they touch and go with them. Sometimes they'll watch them all the time, and then sometimes they take a break, but they always know that they're receiving the frequencies from me. So it's kind of like your monthly dose of frequencies. And just like you have a monthly dose of supplements or herbs, or you go to the gym every month, or you eat healthy, it's just like another thing that's helping your body.
Clients are now going through the process of the system, filling out their intake forms, the questionnaires, booking their sessions, getting the companion resources, and then coming back and feeling better, which is beautiful.
The biggest issue that I see with people's energy practices is that they have a very hard time knowing their monthly revenue, because they're just getting random clients here and there. And especially practitioners who are really good at what they do. I know a few of them who, they'll have a session with someone, then the person goes away for a while, right? That's what happens to me too. And so you don't have that monthly revenue. So that's why this is so important for energy healers. So that way you can continue doing your energy work and worry less about, what am I making this month? I don't know,
Yeah, just to recap a few features that Frequency OS is able to help Stephanie with. Most importantly, you don't have to give your personal phone number away. Frequency OS gives you one or many phone numbers.
Mm-hmm.
You can text and receive phone calls. You can automatically reply to a lead with a message if you miss the call. The calendar system and the payments are all integrated in the same system. Your memberships, courses, and community are in the same spot.
Mm-hmm.
So you're able to operate the whole company. And it's not so much about automations as it is just keeping up on those touch points with clients to help bring them through that experience.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited again for what you're bringing to the whole field and the network that you're building. I'm excited for the testimonials that your clients have been bringing in. You're an awesome client to work with. I'm glad
Thank
you
you.
feel like you deserve the quality of the website that you have now.
I do. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're the best. Thank you for all the things that you've helped me build. So
It's
definitely
truly my pleasure.
come talk to Bill, and he can help you set all your things up so that you can do what you're really good at, which is your actual work.
So this has been the first episode of Building the Future of Health, and we'll see you in the next episode.